morning, everybody, and welcome to the Early Watch. I'm Jimmy, and with us, as always, Mr. Tony York.
Good morning, folks. Happy Monday. Broke Monday, I should say. Hope y'all are doing well, getting ready for Christmas and whatnot.
The holidays. Can't wait.
You know, well, our holiday shopping stuff is pretty much done. We'll buy some sort of food stuff on our way down to quote Christmas celebration for our family, which is actually New Year. We was gonna buy it when we got groceries Saturday, but fuck, why have it in the freezer for 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I never. The turkey makes a little bit more sense for Thanksgiving because, I mean, they do sell out, but then the day after Thanksgiving, for some reason, everything is lined up with turkeys. Like, right before Thanksgiving, there's one left. After Thanksgiving, they pile them motherfuckers out there in the store, man.
That's because they want rid of them
Yeah, but where were they at the day before?
in the back so they can charge $7 a pound instead of $1.49.
Yeah, no shit, right? Thank goodness for what's it called? Conscious fucking or polite business practices.
Capitalism, man. Do whatever you can to make the most money. Man, I'm fucking Walmart. Just groceries. $550.
Oh yeah, I believe it. For what? For a couple weeks, maybe?
No, that'll last us 2 to 3 months
Oh yeah, no.
with what we have already.
You go and spend $300-400. That shit's gonna last us maybe a couple weeks.
I did buy, I think, 15 ribeyes.
Yeah, I went. Oh yeah, there's a store Smiths, and they were running deals on shit. And I got a couple. I got a couple tomahawks. I got a couple of T-bones, and then I got. Are you familiar with the ball tip steak tip?
It's not ringing a bell.
Well, I don't know where the cut is. I'm pretty sure it's not the ball tip, but I don't know where the cut is, but they're cheaper than the fuck. It's like $20 for a couple pounds.
The only tips I've heard of are sirloin tips.
Yeah, no, it's not the. I know what you're talking about. No, I didn't get those. I'm not a
Oh, sir.
huge fan of sirloin, but what?
I like sirloin ground into hamburger,
Yeah,
but I don't like sirloin steak. It's tougher than like ribeye.
yeah.
Uh, Fucking stew meat, cut up stew meat cost within 50 cents of the same amount of just roast.
Really? The chuck roast?
Uh, Chuck might have been,
But yeah,
but I
before
mean
well, cause chuck
it's not
roast
a
is usually the cheaper one. Go ahead.
it wasn't like a roast cut up either on the label. It just said stew beef, so it could have been cut up in pieces.
I've gotten that before. It says like lean. The one that I got anyway said lean stew meat or stew beef or whatever. And I usually use that shit for like fajitas or tacos or fucking just to put into like a salad type thing or something. But I'm
Fuck,
still
I use
doing.
hamburger, all
I'm
that shit.
Yeah, I'm still doing the whole like partial carnivore thing, but I've added in some fruits and vegetables here and there.
We do about 50% carnivore.
Yeah, I'm about
Still,
there.
you know, because of how I react to potatoes, we eat a lot of potatoes. Potatoes, they told me I wouldn't be able to eat, not affect my blood sugar a bit. I love potatoes.
Yeah, yeah, they are good. And I just got barely introduced to the functions of air fryers, and holy shit, is that some type of black magic that I'm into.
I got a new one 2 years ago for Christmas. Still sitting right over there.
it's great. You fucking sear your meat on the pan, get it nice and fucking crispy, and then throw it in the air fryer for 5 minutes, and you get you a nice medium rare.
I still like it cooked in the oven.
Yeah, but it's pretty much the same thing. It can, if you cook it a little bit too long. I've cooked fish in there, which I want to get to in a second, but I've cooked fish in there and completely dried it out and fucked it. So, not literally fucked it up.
Yeah. Fish and poultry, especially turkey, it's pretty easy to dry it out.
Yeah.
Depending on the fish. I mean, salmon's pretty fatty, so it's easier, but I fucking stand.
See, I've kind of gotten. I consider salmon to be like my steak of the fish world. I prepare it like a steak. I fucking season it like a steak. I fucking, that's like a steak to me, kind of. But the one that
Aside from stuff like Long John Silver's, my favorite fish so far has been tilapia seasoned with the steak seasoning from Texas Roadhouse.
tilapia is good as fuck. I like tilapia too. Pollock is pretty good, surprisingly enough. I didn't think I'd be into it because I'm not
Yeah,
a huge fishy flavor guy, but it's actually really good, and you can cook that flavor out, kind of.
yeah, I like cod you can get there too.
Cod? I've never tried cod. I just tried sole last week. I hated that shit. I didn't like it at all. It was just like the fishy flavor was overpowering.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of the issues I have with catfish.
Yeah, I can't do
I've only
catfish.
seen one or two people that could make catfish where I could stand to eat it. And one of them's my aunt who's dead and gone now. And
Yeah,
I don't know how the hell she did it, but she did it with cornmeal, eggs, and beer.
really. See,
Yeah,
I've had fried catfish. I've had catfish just about every way you could have it. I don't like it. I've never had anyone make it that I like it ever.
the, the batter she made for it was potent enough to just eradicate the fishiness to it for the most part. Still was there.
Yeah,
I tell you, for catching fish here, if I'm going to catch fish, I want either crappie or bluegill.
a bluegill's good. Bluegill's good.
Crappie's every bit as good or better, bigger.
Crop. I've never had it. Never
Ah,
had it.
it's, it's really similar to bluegill, except it's bigger.
Yeah. Well, I had a flashback.
Walleye's good.
What is it?
Walleye's good, but that's like something you buy when they have a walleye thing at a restaurant. You can't really catch them.
Yeah. I've noticed too.
Cold.
All the crab meat, everything that's like packaged crab meat, it's all fake.
I've tried crab a couple of times and it's fucking too rubbery.
Yeah. Well, aren't crabs and fucking shrimps are like the cockroaches of the sea, ain't it? Bottom feeder
Them
motherfuckers.
lobsters,
Yeah. I never really.
I don't. My old lady likes lobster, but I don't.
Yeah, same. My wife will eat that shit, but you could butter it up as much as you possibly can't. Put a whole tub of butter in that motherfucker. I just don't like it.
I ain't a huge seafood fan anyway. Long John Silver's is about my favorite pick of seafood.
Yeah, it's got its niche for me too because it's more like a lean, just a lean protein source.
And that fucking malt vinegar. Whew.
I tried Worcestershire sauce on some fish before. It didn't turn out that great. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't. It's not
Yeah,
red meat.
Worcestershire, a different kind of tangy.
Yeah, I think it's more for red meat.
When I go back to Long John Silver's, which we're talking about maybe after the first of the year, going down to the cabin, I'm gonna buy a couple bottles of their malt vinegar.
Yeah.
It's not stupid expensive, and god damn it,
What is it like? I'm gonna have to go and try it. There's one right here in Vegas too. I might have to go and try that shit because I've never been a huge Long John Silver's fan. but
No, you don't
go
go
try.
there to buy weed.
Yeah, I heard that one too. They're just a front.
I heard it from you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh shit. But but speaking of fish though, man, I had like a flashback to my early days of fucking being, youthful whore and cuz I opened it up, I put all my tilapia and all that shit, I put it in like Tupperware. So I opened up the fridge the other day and just the fucking rancid scent of fish came out and it brought me back and I'm kind of like thinking why does bad pussy smell like fish? Like, how does that correlate to the human body?
I don't know.
You'd figure it'd be more like iron, like blood scented or something like that. But that's just, I've never understood
That's
that.
what it smells like when you go down there and she's on her period.
Yeah. But you'd figure that would be the dirty smell too. But the dirty smell just smells like fucking, or whatever the fuck is wrong with them. I don't know. I've smelled it a couple times and usually left.
I
But
honestly don't think I have.
I have when I was younger. Back in my whole days when I was, out there on old Jimmy from the block. But yeah,
I ain't never found one that I wasn't willing to go ahead and stick my tongue in. So
yeah, I've had two, and it was both that fucking tilapia and Tupperware smell. So I don't know.
Mr. Fudd. Good morning, sir.
What's up, Fudd?
Gary.
What's up, Gizzard? Um, yeah, I don't know. I had some stuff written down, but I don't know how the hell we're gonna like transition it into the show. So I don't know if you got anything, but
Really?
yeah.
I wrote down the deal with South Korea and martial law, but that fucking went away the next morning.
Which
And then
one?
under that, I made a note about other countries in turmoil. See, they ran al Ashar out of Syria.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
figured that fucker's going to die there
I
of
just
old age. I mean,
yeah, I just don't get how come we have so much. I mean, not with that necessarily, but like, why do we give a fuck? And like, not talking shit. I don't know how to make this not sound asshole-ish, but why does America give a fuck about what's going on in other countries?
I honestly, with the exception of like Russia, North Korea, and China, I don't get it either. I can see, you know, North Korea, Russia, China because they're the ones that are most readily able to lob nukes at you.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, the people that are fucking, they could go and like rush the whole Russia thing once they conquer fucking Ukraine or whatever, and are they gonna pull a whole Nazi Germany shit and start coming everywhere else? And I can understand that, but
You know, one thing involved in this when I was making these notes up is I seen a guy who does inside modern Russia Today type videos, and he said, according to the information he's getting there, Putin is exceptionally happy that Trump.
well,
He
yeah,
really don't like Biden.
nah. But that's the thing, though, is that I mean, are we still fighting with Russia because of the past or because of how they run shit? I mean, is there a way that we could have good relations with all of our enemies as long as we just had the right person in power? Is that a stretch?
We can probably do better by Russia by not sending billions to Ukraine.
Oh yeah, no shit.
Maybe getting a peace treaty between Ukraine and Russia would help. Uh, and if that turns out to lift sanctions against Russia, the Russian population does better off. So I don't know. A lot of the political shit don't make a hell of a lot. I get the hammering on Iran, but Biden gave them billions of dollars back, which did not make a fucking bit of sense.
Yeah. I mean, not a lot of things that Biden did do made a lot of sense. But I just feel like we could be handling foreign like the federal government. Their main job is supposed to be the fucking um. Why did I say dictatorship? Fucking to like help with foreign relations and that type of shit, either with our allies or our enemies. And I feel like they're wasting too much time trying to do overreach here in their own country and not worry about what the fuck they're supposed to be doing, like defending our borders.
Dr. Goon, well, after World War II, those in power decided we needed to be world police.
Which is,
and that was probably late 40s, maybe 50.
And I feel
when
like
the actual Cold War started.
Yeah, and I feel like that's about as arrogant as a country or people can be. Like, who the fuck are, But now, like you were saying with the whole Russia and Ukraine thing, coming in and being a mediator, a fresh pair of ears and eyes or whatever on the whole situation, and coming in and trying to barter peace, make a treaty of some sort. I could see that. What's up, Goon? I could see that. But like I said, it's all foreign relations shit. They're supposed to be keeping us safe, not controlling us and tricking us and all this other shit that they're doing. Which also, that kind of does bring me to the whole, like, how people confuse government as country and as one thing. The government, we can be patriotic to our country and still not 100% back our government.
I don't at all get the whole idea of proxy wars, which is basically what Ukraine is right now. We're fighting Russia proxy.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't that kind of the same deal with Vietnam too?
Yes. I was fighting China by proxy, but still same deal.
Right.
Korea, same thing. And that was probably where it started. I don't know what kind of shit we might have done earlier that you just don't hear about. Because, back before the World Wars, it seemed like we was always at war with fucking somebody.
Yeah, but the world, I think the world wars were like more kind of opened people's eyes to the fact that they could make money off of war. Like, well, hey, we should get involved in every war that we possibly can, guys.
I'm sure that that's a large part of it. I mean, military-industrial complex, which I really don't like that particular terminology, but that does kind of describe it.
Yeah.
Is probably doing a lot of greasing of palms and stuff to keep this shit going. But what part of what they're doing is they're sending all our old shit to Ukraine so that we can buy new shit. And I don't know if we're running out of space for stuff or what. The old shit be handy to have anyway.
I mean, the old shit still works. And it's tried and it's proven and you know what I mean?
If you think about it, there's really no way that Ukraine should have been able to stand against Russia this fucking long.
Even with all the shit that we were saying, I mean, it's all still old shit and it's still, like I was just saying, it still works. But yeah, I hear you.
Which is kind of something to just contemplate. How is it lingering this fucking long? Russia should have been way militarily superior. I don't know.
You would think. All right, yeah, let's bring it back to the American soil here. Did you hear about that whole fucking United Healthcare thing? The
The
CEO?
guy getting shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Couldn't have happened to a better
and
company, huh?
they got fucking like studio glossies of the guy who did it.
Yeah. Yeah, the one picture that's like floating around was the one with him in a hoodie smiling or whatever.
Yeah.
I had to see that about 100 times this past week.
Now there's pictures of him from the back of the cab and walking inside the cab or approaching the cab or some shit like that.
Yeah. Well, isn't United Healthcare is the one that's known for not paying out, right?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I don't have them, so I don't know either. But I guess that's what I heard.
We have consociate, and some parts of it suck. Our cut is a little bit more than I would like. Their prescription side of it's fucking fantastic. I went from paying like $150 to $175 a month for the stuff I have to paying $5. The only one I have to pay for is the fucking narcotic. And my
Damn.
copay on that's $5.
Yeah. He used that fucking well rod pistol. Or at least that's what they're saying. This is
I
the police believe the shooter used a B&T Station 6.
I really didn't hear much about the pistol. I'm seeing it, I'm not hearing it. I have the TV muted most of the time.
Yeah. They said that
I've heard last thing I heard him talking about the pistol was a ghost gun.
I've always wanted one of those too, man. That fucking the well rod.
It looks like it's a shitty gun.
It is, but it's and it's you gotta the slide locks. I don't know if that's the one that you could press a button and the slide will either lock up or cycle. But from what I understand, the slide locks up so it doesn't hear that extra. You know, it's supposed to be a completely silenced pistol, so you got to cycle every shot, which is also not fucking
That that
not
may
optimal.
explain that may explain the quote unquote misfires that he is reported to have had with it. Because I think I heard that he had to cycle it 3 times. Don't quote me on that. Could be wrong. Like I said, I don't pay that much attention to the audio.
Yeah, right now, but I believe it though because if that was the gun that he used, you have to cycle it every time.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, we talk about the idea that the guy had trained to do this. Well, if he trained to do this, surely he wouldn't be handling a fucking gun and he had to clear a malfunction every time he shot it.
Yeah. And why get it?
No.
Well, maybe that's the only gun that he could get. I mean, it did happen in New York, so I
In
don't know.
America?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you just go, hey, go to your fucking local alley somewhere or some shit and fucking get a Glock?
Fuck, you buy a Ruger for like $250. New.
Get you a high point. They got a new yeet cannon out, you know.
Yeah.
For the most part,
Yeah,
them
everybody
shits
know
cycle.
that.
For the most part, them shits cycle. I've never had one that fucking. I've never, ever, never had. Now, mind you, I've never done like torture tests or anything like that, but I've never had a fucking high point that jammed up on me.
I watched Demolition Ranch try to kill one, and they couldn't do it short of shooting the gun.
Yeah, melting the plastic on it or something. But yeah, I
Uh,
don't know.
the only one I ever seen purpose functioned fine.
I've had
But
the 45, the 10 millimeter, and the 9 millimeter, and yeah, the blowback action works.
I can tell you that 45 fucking stung my hand.
Yeah, try the 10 millimeter, that motherfucker. A 10 millimeter blowback pistol, yeah. It wasn't the funnest, but it functioned.
It surprised me too because it's a fairly heavy gun. I
Well,
mean, it's certainly heavier than my P95 DC Ruger.
yeah, and those motherfuckers, those are like bricks to hold. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that the heaviness, I think it's because of the Zamak, the zinc and alloy shit that they use. They
Yeah.
overbuild it so it doesn't fucking blow up in your face or something. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think that's well, Ron.
Yeah, it ain't
I just,
Mark 1.
that ain't. Uh, it looked like he had a regular semi-auto with a fucking silencer.
Well,
Now again,
the article I
say
was
that
reading said that the
that
gun wasn't
potential.
recovered, so I don't know if we'll ever know. Let's see. That is nobody. Yeah, this camera. I've seen better pictures from the security camera or the CCTV cameras, but it looks like a big ass unwieldy, very impractical fucking gun.
I don't know. Now that you show that, you may be right. I may have just filled in the blanks. What I thought I saw.
Yeah, the video is actually in the fucking corner here. Let me rewind it.
First time I saw the video on Fox, they showed him actually shooting it twice.
Yeah, this one he shot it. So he's walking up. I forgot there's a huge delay. There's the CEO in his bright blue blazer. Then he shot right from behind. Doesn't this guy, I mean, maybe he just was so pissed off at United Healthcare he didn't give a fuck, but I mean, people should know that they are being watched constantly. There's cameras every fucking where.
I know it is scary to know how much photo evidence they got of this guy.
Yeah,
You know, you may subconsciously know that the cameras are there, but you really don't think about it until you see it.
yeah. Like, oh shit, they got a great angle of me. And they got an angle of me from before I was walking up, from when I was walking up, while I was shooting, after I was done shooting, walking away. That is
He got me
fucking.
buying water and snacks at fucking Starbucks.
Yeah. No. Jesus Christ. At least use that damn COVID mask as a fucking advantage to you or something. Jeez. But
Yeah,
yeah.
because that still wouldn't show up being way out of place.
Well, now what scares me about this is, and maybe I'm just bringing it to light and fucking myself and manifesting it, but the whole Minority Report thing, the catching the pre-crime, catching people before they commit crimes, like that's what scares me about this shit. Are we gonna start just guessing that people are gonna do something fucking weird and then arrest them?
Uh,
This guy looks suspicious. Let's go get him before he fucking kills somebody.
when it comes to stuff concerning firearms, they already do that shit.
That it is true. That is true. To an extent, that is true.
Yeah, it's too much of an extent for my taste.
Well, I mean, as far as the Second Amendment is concerned, any extent is too much.
Yes,
And that's the thing too, is that like the changing of laws is crazy because at least from our history, every law that's been changed always took, I guess, a martyr. Maybe too strong of a word, but that's how I take it as somebody's got to break the law and then go through a whole bunch of bullshit and it either either gets overturned or it doesn't.
Murder will do.
I mean, to an extent, yeah. I mean, yeah, it is.
Because you have to go through the fucking court system 3 or 4 fucking times to get to where somebody can actually say yay or nay for real.
Yeah. May have to do some jail time, the whole 9 yard. Because what was it? The fucking Marbury versus Madison, something like that. Then they had that Miranda versus Arizona.
Don't know, man.
Miranda versus Arizona was I forgot what the fuck they were arrested for, but it was the rights secured by the Constitution as far as the rights of the Constitution are concerned, there can be no ruling or legislation which would abrogate them. And then South Carolina versus the United States, Night Strike put me onto that one. Constitution is a written instrument. As such, its meaning does not alter. That which it meant when it was adopted, it means now.
Which says that all forms of gun control are unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of law, I was listening to the Heller decision. The head judge was reading it. Did you realize that said that gun locks are unconstitutional?
Did it really?
The requirement to use guns.
Well, yeah, any mandate, right?
They can't make you lock the gun in a safe. They especially can't make you lock it in a safe separate of the ammo. They can't make you install trigger locks. It's all unconstitutional.
Yeah. That's almost taken away the purpose of having a firearm for self-defense or for home
Right,
defense.
exactly.
Which is
And
why
that's
too.
what they said.
Which is why too. I never understood people carrying without one in the chamber. I get it to an extent. Like I don't get it. Like I agree with it, but I get people could be afraid or new to the shit or something. But you're carrying an empty gun.
Yeah, when I first got my carry license, I for 2 or 3 days carried without a round in the chamber, and I even practiced a fair bit pulling the gun. And as I'm starting to point it, rack the slide, and then after less than a week, I decided that was dumb. You know, it's just one more thing to fuck up. And I haven't done it since. So I don't really speak to people who, when they first start carrying, don't want to carry with round in the chamber, but hopefully they'll modify that in, just a very short period of time.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know. My grandfather always had shit loaded, even if it was just sitting there and never do nothing ever and collecting dust and fucking. My very first gun before I could even legally have guns was that fucking big ass single action Ruger, and then I moved on to the fucking P95, which that I actually had a holster for that one. But I mean, by that time, I already knew how guns worked. What scares me sometimes, and this was after my whole SKS incident, is racking guns. I have to like double, triple check that the firing pin is fucking freely moving on its own before I rack a gun. But other than that, there's really no fear. There shouldn't be either. I mean, if you got a decent gun that's properly cleaned, and it should be fine.
Yeah, like with the whole Remington rifle thing, yeah, that was the thing that happened to them guns, but I really think a lot of it was people liking trigger pulls too much.
Yeah.
So that jarring the gun could make it sear disconnect. But you know, for those who are starting to carry it, if you want to carry without a round in the chamber at first, by all means do so, but realize that, it's just one more possibility to fuck something up if you need to use the gun.
Yeah.
And it gets worse if you think about the stress involved.
Yeah, I've never been one for modifying. I do get metal sights for Glocks, but I've never, like, I don't know. I get it, but it's like fucking, I've never had to put a fucking like laser on a hammer or fucking extra hoe grips on a screwdriver, and it's just a gun is just a tool to me. So I've never really understood making it pretty. And a lot of the older guns, especially wood stocks and shit like that, I mean, they're already built pretty. Some of them are works of art. You go back to some of them fucking black powder Colts and shit like that. That should be hanging in fucking art museums somewhere. But other than that,
I
yeah,
can see restocking if it doesn't fit your hand.
yeah,
With the two Smiths I got, I put the target grips on them because that's how I wanted those guns to look at the bottom.
oh yeah. Well, when I had my before they were fucking toast, and when I had my North American Arms revolvers, I got big fat grips for one of them.
I could
Just
see that shit too.
yeah, but it wasn't to make it look prettier or not. You know what I mean? Like if you people out there are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on guns that they carry, and when you use that gun, the likelihood of you getting them back is pretty close to zero.
Well, on a carry gun, that son of a bitch is going to get beat up just by the act of carrying it. So
Well, yeah,
I
holster
don't want
wear.
to carry. I don't want to carry, a really pretty gun that I'm afraid of getting marred up. Although I
Yeah.
will carry that 629 some days, but that's a little different. It's in a shoulder holster where I ain't, brushed against shit with my gut.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but still, I mean, even if I was to carry one of those, I would have a backup gun just in case anything actually happened. So I'm using my $250 fucking Ruger versus my fucking $1,800 fucking Smith.
I don't really think about that part of it, you know, losing the gun because of using it. Just, I don't know, that's something I don't think about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure that people that like stay on their I don't even know. I really don't know. I don't know. But I know that I've seen situations before where people haven't gotten their firearms back.
I would say most likely if I used it and there was a reason they wanted to keep my firearm, it wouldn't matter to me because I'd be in jail.
Well, hopefully it was a clean shoot or whatever, but you are in Illinois at the moment, so you never know. Hey, that criminal has
Yeah,
rights. That shit blew my mind, man. It was maybe a couple few years back or whatever when the fucking guy broke into somebody's house in California and then got shot and then sued. That shit fucking I'm like this world is going that was my
that's
first inclination that this world is going to shit.
part of the reason why I got dogs. So when I shoot somebody that's breaking into my house, I can throw them to the dogs and they can clean up the mess.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to the guy.
Yeah, I was sleeping. I was sleeping. Go in there and get your bullet back real quick. Well, unless you use the 44s, maybe it went right through them. Who knows?
And it wouldn't be that hard to get by with because you hear gunshots around here probably 3 or 4 times a month. Because I live right at the edge of town and people will shoot coyotes. if they're coming around their yard to go after pets, it ain't nothing to hear somebody pop off a center fire rifle at a coyote.
Yeah. Well, that was the same thing when I was fucking in Chicago. Well, I guess yeah, Phoenix too. There was so many like gunshots that happened throughout the week that like cops just stopped responding to shit. And what if it was the real shit? You know what I mean? Like, what if somebody actually got shot and there was no witness to call the police? And fuck, I don't know. I don't know.
That's the luck of the draw.
Yeah,
Don't do shit that'll get you shot.
true, very true. Dark alleys are not places that you should visit at night if you don't want to get hurt. And always bring a buddy when you're. Use the buddy system if
That's
you're
it.
ever gonna go down dark alleys.
Yeah, that on that Heller thing, that surprised me because they never said shit about that in any of the news reporting I'd heard on Heller.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though, is that when a lot of these like big cases, like nobody really covers them. Nobody fucking puts it out there on the news, and you know, you know how that goes. People don't hear about it. It doesn't exist.
'Cause Illinois has had some talk about wanting to make gun owners have trigger locks or gun safes. And I'm like, I ain't
Didn't
wanting
you?
to have a gun safe.
Didn't you guys have a whole big like open carry thing in Illinois a few years back?
Uh, there was an issue with the concealed carry law that if they didn't get it done, that open carry was going to become law,
Oh, okay, okay. My memory's not the greatest.
which would have been great because they couldn't have changed it back. That would have been Illinois State Supreme Court mandate, so they couldn't have come up later with, you have to concealed carry license and open carry. The court would agree that that was the way it was done. Which doesn't make any sense
No.
because the one thing that the Supreme Court said about uh, restrictions on carrying a gun were concealed carry.
Hmm. Hey, what's up, Oz? I don't know how,
Mikey!
I don't know how old that comment is, but what's up? What's up nonetheless? Oh, I gotta look that thing up too now that I'm at it. I don't know why I wrote down this, but I'm gonna look at it real quick. There it is.
Yeah, I got tires put on the truck Saturday. Tires I ordered were way more aggressive than they look like in the ad.
Okay, so the
You
marble.
drive,
Oh, go ahead.
drive the thing on concrete pavement, it howls pretty good. So go ahead.
I was looking at the Marbury versus fucking Madison thing, and it's nothing. The case involved William Marbury, a businessman and supporter of the Federalist Party. On the day before he left office, President John Adams nominated Marbury to be a justice of the peace in the District of Columbia. Marbury never filled the position. Then Marbury versus Madison was a landmark 1803 Supreme Court case that established the principle of judicial review. Judicial review, the Supreme Court ruled that courts have the power to strike down laws and actions of other two branches of government if they violate Constitution. I don't know why the fuck I had that written down. I thought it had something to do with the Second Amendment, but I guess if they're encompassing the entire Constitution, it does, sort of.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, basically that says the Supreme Court's the final ultimate ruling in the land when it comes to constitutional stuff.
So everything should be brought in front of the fucking Supreme Court. If you get a case out there that's fucking against your constitutional rights, just immediately subpoena for it to be brought to the Supreme Court.
That don't work. You have to go through the regular court system, which is why it makes people martyrs.
Yeah, you got to go through the bullshit first and then go there.
Most people couldn't begin to afford that. That's why, they take cases that are backed by NRA or whatever the hell the other gun rights groups are.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that our prison system
Scotty.
and our legislative system is the fucking best, but what's up, Scotty? But it is what it is. C'est la vie.
Idea behind it is good, but like everything else that involves humans, it is subject to being corrupt.
Yeah. And corrupted it did. Now all of our tax dollars get to go to missiles that cost more than 10 public schools.
Yep.
So we could blow up guys that live in dirt huts and eat fucking dirt for, because they're the biggest threat to America, not the government.
Well, you gotta first get rid of all the old ones so we can buy us.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where Ukraine comes in. Here, guys, take our trash.
Hello, Mr. Zelensky.
Oh
Here,
my
have
God.
these intermediate missiles, but you can't use them until I say it's okay.
Did you? Oh, hey, that I want to bring that up too before we fucking cut off. Did you hear about you? You're familiar with that guy Tim Kennedy, right?
Vaguely.
He got caught lying about getting a Purple Heart, man. How do you forget that you didn't get the Purple Heart?
I don't know. When it comes to politicians, they seem to forget a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going for office. He probably should have before he made up the fucking bullshit about the Purple Heart, though. But all those fucking what?
Look at that governor of Minnesota that ran with Kamala. Man, he forgot fucking everything.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. But all these fucking, I don't know how much you see it, but like if I go start scrolling through my YouTube short videos and all that, then I get these military guys, the SEALs and all this other shit. And I mean, all of these fucking guys I don't want to say necessarily liars, but embellishers, definitely. What was the one? Remember that fucking ginger guy? And he was telling the story about how he killed bin Laden, and the maid said something about if you ace the kid, you'll get bin Laden or something. Like, the fucking maid did not say that, dude. Like, chill the fuck out. We get it. Hoorah, whatever, but shut the fuck up. An Afghan maid.
But there's one out there one podcast, military news, that actually it's pretty damn good. And they really unsubscribed clips. Name it.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I like those guys too. That's like Brandon Herrera and the one cop guy, Donut. Yeah,
Operator.
But those guys are funny about shit, and you don't usually hear them embellishing too much on their fucking war stories and shit. I'd like to see some of those guys talk about, like, hey, somebody ask them about like what do you guys think about the Jewish influence on society in America and on the media and fucking that type of shit. I'd like to see those
how
guys.
You can say that without getting shit on from all parts of the world for being an anti-Semite.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You hating bastard.
They got that. They got that bulletproof vest on. I forgot. Yeah. But still, nonetheless, I'd like to see somebody ask them that shit. I'm pretty sure they're going to be running for a strong point.
They certainly give Herrera a lot of shit on that one.
Yeah, I like him though. He's probably one of my favorite ones on that motherfucker because he's got a more of a personality. That donut guy does
Oh,
too.
yeah, I like Brandon too. I wish he'd won his election.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, I didn't. Didn't keep up with it. I just knew he was running for something.
Not it was been the state rep in Texas, so it wouldn't have anything to do with me, but it's started getting somebody who is exceptionally pro gun into politics.
Yeah, yeah. Even if it, does, I like to see good people win every now and again. As rare as it is, I like to see that. Just win in life, not necessarily elections, but I don't know. I do not
Yeah,
know.
that is entertaining watching, especially when they have the fat electrician on. That motherfucker is funny as shit. And if you want to learn some military history, go look at his channel.
Fat electrician.
Yeah, yeah, his channel's the fat electrician.
Yo, yeah, I didn't know that he had his own channel. I thought he was just with them.
Oh yeah, that everything that he goes off on their shows is video that he's covered.
Fat electrician.
I think he's studying to become a history teacher. That would probably be a good thing because he's really good about getting information across in a way that you're willing to pay attention to.
Well, yeah, and it would also counteract a lot of these liberal professors and teachers and shit like that.
And he fucking hates communism.
I mean, I don't know a lot of people that love it, but
Most communist leaders do.
yeah, yeah. Um, I'm out of shit. Let me see.
Well,
Slightly.
you don't have no money. That's okay. You're pretty cute. We can work out some other in my communist utopia.
We will figure something out, friend.
Shit.
Well, um, I guess we're gonna do closing statements here. This may possibly be the last one for a while, guys. Some things have happened. I'm not gonna go into great detail, uh, but I won't be having the internet or access to it for a little bit, and I can't necessarily say when or where I'm gonna come back from. It may be somewhere in the West Coast. It may be back in Illinois. It may be no, yeah, just them two places. Maybe
Hell, we've
from
been doing this for a couple months now. It's about time for us to take a month off.
yeah, no shit, right? But yeah, so I can't really make any promises or say anything. I've been trying to stay as consistent as possible and keep you guys in the light as much as possible instead of just disappearing. So been I've been doing better with that. But
Yes, you have.
I
Kudos.
thank you. I just don't know when or like I said where we're gonna come back. But
Life happens.
yeah, unfortunately it
I was
does.
concerned this morning because you're pretty late showing up to Discord. Oh, don't tell me this motherfucker fucked off again.
Again. Nah, my fucking I woke up at like 5:30 this morning and I didn't get out. I usually go out on a little bit of a morning jog slash walk, and I just it lasted a little longer than usual. That was my bad. But yeah, so I don't know when we're coming back. I appreciate everybody that has come back and stayed watching us or whatever the fuck. If you do like us, stay subscribed because we will be back. I can guarantee you that. I just don't know when. Me and Tony have each other's numbers. We both are friends on Discord, so we'll stay in contact and let you know from there. So with that, have a good one, guys.
Good day, everybody. Please post money to whatever accounts we can get money to, because I spent a shit ton of money the past week. Just kidding. Not about to spend a shit ton of money. I did that. Send
Yeah, Patreon link is in the description. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you when we see you. Have a good one.
Have a good day, everybody. I'll try to keep up with what's going on.
Yes.
Let everybody know.
Yeah, I'll keep Tony in contact, even
At least
though
I'll let Mikey know, and he can spread the word.
Yeah, just make sure you check your text messages every now and again, there, Tone.
Okay.
All right, later, everybody.
Good day, y'all.
Silent night, the shadows creep underneath the snow so deep. Evil bells start to chime. This is no Merry Christmas time.